$1 billion. That's not what Cristiano Ronaldo is worth per game or per goal. It's his total net worth, making him the first footballer in history to ever cross that line. But here's what nobody talks about. Football is actually the smallest part of the story, because while you were watching him score, he was building an empire: hotels, gyms, fashion lines, a lifetime Nike deal, a YouTube channel with hundreds of millions of views, and a contract so massive it broke every record in sports history. This is how a kid from a tiny island ought to almost quit football at 12 to encounter became a billionaire. Cristiano Ronaldo grew up in Funchal, Madeira, like a small Portuguese island. His father was a kit man, his mother was a cook, they were poor. There were 4 kids and they all shared a single room. At 12, Ronaldo was diagnosed with a racing heart condition, and doctors told him he might have to give up football forever. He had surgery, he recovered, and within months he was back on the pitch. At 17, he signed his first professional contract with Sporting CP in Lisbon. And within a single season, he was good enough that Manchester United paid $16.6 million to bring him to England. That was 2003. Ronaldo was a teenager, and the clock had started. Over the next 2 decades, Ronaldo's salary went up every time he moved clubs, and he always moved at the right moment. Manchester United, Real Madrid, and where he became the greatest scorer in the club's history, Juventus, then back to United. Over his entire career, football contracts alone earned him more than $550 million. But the real financial genius, he never spent like most athletes do. While others were buying fleets of cars they couldn't afford, Ronaldo was reinvesting. He was studying how Michael Jordan built a brand. He was watching how athletes become businesses. And he had one massive advantage that most footballers never build. He was the most recognizable face on the planet. In 2016, Nike offered Ronaldo something they've only ever given to 3 other athletes in history: a lifetime endorsement deal. The others, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kevin Durant. The deal is reportedly worth over $1 billion. And it pays around $18 million per year in base fees, plus royalties on every piece of CR7 branded Nike merchandise sold worldwide. To understand the scale, in 2016 alone, Forbes estimated Ronaldo generated $500 million in media value for Nike in a single year. This deal alone was the foundation of his billionaire status, but it was only the beginning. In 2017, Ronaldo trademarked 2 letters and a number, CR7, his initials, his shirt number, his identity, and then he built an empire around it: hotels. In partnership with the Pestana Hotel Group, the Pestana CR7 brand now operates luxury properties in Lisbon, Madeira, Madrid, New York, and Marrakesh. Football-themed, luxury position, and worth an estimated $50 to $100 million as a portfolio. Gym CR7 Fitness, launched with Crunch Fitness, brings his obsession with physical conditioning into a commercial brand across Europe and the Middle East. Fashion CR7 jeans, underwear, footwear, eyewear, fragrances, available globally, driven by one of the most powerful personal brands in the world: hair clinics, Inspiria, a chain of hair transplant clinics in Spain and Portugal, a film studio. In 2025, Ronaldo launched UR.MARV with British producer Matthew Vaughn, producing action films for major streaming platforms. The CR7 brand empire is estimated to contribute $20 to $30 million per year in revenue, and growing. And then there's the number that breaks your brain: 850 million. That's Ronaldo's total social media following across Instagram, Facebook, and X, making him the most followed human being on earth by a wide margin. A single sponsored Instagram post from Ronaldo earns somewhere between $2.5 and $3.5 million. He posts around 50 sponsored pieces per year. Do the math, that's potentially $175 million per year from Instagram alone. In 2024, he launched his own YouTube channel, You Are Cristiano, giving fans behind-the-scenes access to his life and businesses. It became one of the fastest-growing channels in the platform's history. His social media isn't just fame, it's a media company. In January 2023, Ronaldo made the move that shocked the world and officially started the Billionaire countdown. He signed with Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, a deal worth a reported $600 million over 2.5 years, the largest contract in the history of professional sports at the time. Then in June 2025, he signed an extension, reportedly worth $400 to $620 million over 2 more years, potentially including a 15% ownership stake in the club. And here's the part most people miss. Saudi Arabia has no income tax, so every dollar Ronaldo earns there is a dollar he keeps. Financial analysts estimate that gives him a 45% earnings advantage over any athlete competing in Europe or North America. In June 2025, Ronaldo officially crossed the $1 billion threshold, becoming the first footballer in history to become a billionaire. So how did Cristiano Ronaldo become a billionaire? He scored goals, but so did thousands of other players. What separated him was this: he treated himself as a product. He invested in his body, his brand, and his business empire with the same obsessive discipline he used to become the world's best footballer. He didn't wait for retirement to build. He built while the cameras were still on him and leveraged every moment of fame into something permanent. The number today? $1.4 billion, and still climbing. The kid from Madeira who almost never played football? He's the richest footballer who ever lived.